What's up guys, it's Tyler here. Today we are coming at you with an install video for our Cobalt front strut bar. Now this strut tower bar video is going to be applicable to obviously the Cobalt that we're going to put it on today. Our other strut bars for our ATS or Camaro come as one piece already, so you don't need to do most of this work, but some of this can apply. So what I've got in front of me here is what comes in the package and then the tools that we're going to need. In the package you've got your strut tower bar, you've got your mounting plates, your heim joints, and then bolts to attach them all together. One thing that you will note, and that is important for installation, is the passenger side of the strut tower bar has this little groove in it. Now that's going to come in handy later, but do make sure to note that. So past that, install is going to be pretty easy. We only have a couple of tools that are needed. You need a socket set for your strut tower top mounting bolts, and then you need either some adjustable wrenches, or I've got correctly sized ones here. So yeah, let's go ahead and put it all together. Before we put anything on the car, what you're going to want to do is put your heim joints onto the strut tower bar. So like I mentioned, the passenger side has the groove. Now that's going to indicate that it is actually reverse threaded. So when you're going to put this together, rather than spinning right like you normally would, you're going to spin that in left, or the wrong way. So you'll get that on there, get it about halfway in. You're not going to tighten anything up yet, but just kind of leave it loose like that. Then on your driver's side, same thing, except you're spinning the heim joint the correct way. So again, get that about halfway in, and that should do for now. So from here, we're going to go over to the car and install our adapter plates, and then we'll bolt it all together. So once you get over to the car, you're going to have your two mounting plates. There's no real indicator on which side is which, but as soon as you hold it up, you'll be able to tell which side is passenger and which side is driver's side. So what you'll do is just remove your nuts for the two that it's going on. Make sure not to drop them into the infinite abyss. Put that mount on. Never mind my windshield washer line there. We'll get that out of the way later. So you put your nuts back on and tighten it on up. Doesn't need to be Hulk tight, but it is part of the suspension, so just make sure it's not going anywhere. Go over to the other side, do the same thing. That back one you might have a little difficulty. You might need to grab a wrench instead of a socket. So same. Get it mounted over here on this side. All right, and we are nice and tight. All right, so once you have the mounting plates on, you're gonna thread your bar through and then attach it to the mounting plates. So this may be easier with someone else to help, but you can certainly do it by yourself. All you got to do is kind of thread it through, make sure you don't really hit anything back there, and you'll notice that we are quite long, so
side in,
thread that side in, and try and get them about even. So then I'm going to take this side, same thing. You can actually pull it out, make it a little easier. We're going to need to go in quite a bit, and that seems about good there. We'll try again. How are we looking over there, Tyler?
About perfect.
Perfect? All right.
Yeah.
All right, and once you've got that in place, I've taken the fuse box cover off just to make it a little easier to see. This side, you're probably going to want to go in through the back with the bolt and then grab the nut on the front there. You can see there's not a ton of room with the hood prop. So get it in there, hand tight works, and then move over to the other side.
Perfect. We're in over here, we'll do kind of the same thing. There he is.
There's that.
Perfect. Thread him on just like the other side.
The last step is just tightening these and then tightening your heim joint. Make sure you tighten that, because if that isn't tight against the bar, then it can actually break from any forces wobbling it. So I'm gonna tighten this guy first. Again, not a ton of room, so make do with what you got. That's nice and tight, and then just repeat on the other side. All right, so now that we have these tightened up, before you tighten the heim joints, one thing that is actually pretty neat is, because one side is reverse threaded and one is regular, you can actually take the bar and twist it back towards where you'd be sitting. And what this does is it applies pressure outward, and that's gonna stop the flex with those heim joints. So get it kind of tight there. I can't turn it anymore. And then just tighten them up. Hey, look at that. Now, we get a lot of questions, people asking, why is it that we use the heim joints here? One, it makes installation easier, because you never know, these cars are getting old, they might have been in wrecks, you might have something a little tweaked, but it doesn't matter, because what the strut tower bar is doing is controlling forces from side to side, not front to back. So even though the bar can wiggle like this, it's still preventing those forces from going either way. So there we have it. Nice, clean, easy, simple install. If you guys have any questions, always reach out, Tyler V at ZZP, or customer service at ZZPerformance.com. We'll catch you next time.